Haleem is a delicate balance of lentils, pulses, and grain together with spiced mutton, lamb, beef, or chicken and cooked till it's a porridge consistency. It's hearty and delicious. This is also known as Daleem, as some people believe that Haleem was also a name given to the Prophet, peace be upon him. Today on Cravings Food Adventures, we're going to be making a Hyderabadi Haleem. Hi everyone, I'm Karen Ahmed. Welcome back to my channel. This recipe is super easy to make. It does have a lot of ingredients and it takes a little bit of time, but it is really easy to put together. Before I go any further with this recipe, do make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure to ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get cooking. Let's start with the lentils, pulses, and greens. The choice and proportions here can slightly vary. I'm going to start with the largest quantity. This is half a cup of broken wheat. If you have whole wheat grains, you can use that as well. Next, I have a half tablespoon of Urad Dhal, half a tablespoon of Chana Dhal. Chana Dhal is pretty much a staple in Haleem. I also have half a tablespoon of Masoor Dhal. Masoor Dhal is also pretty much a staple. Half tablespoon of sesame seeds or til. Half tablespoon of rice. Many use basmati, but it really doesn't matter. The more glutinous the rice, the better. Half a tablespoon of split Moong Dhal. If you can't find Moong Dhal, you could also use tur dal. I'm also going to use half a tablespoon of barley. I adore barley and you can use any type. I also have 8 to 9 raw cashew nuts. This gives the Haleem its Hyderabadi richness and it's totally optional. Now I'm going to coarse grind everything together. Some like their Haleem smooth and silky. I prefer some texture, so I'm just going to grind this till it's coarse. As you can see, it's fairly coarse. You can grind it finer if you like. In my saute pan, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee and I'm going to allow this to melt down. I'm going to add the ground mixture and saute it just lightly so it heats up. Now we're going to have to boil this. I'm going to add 500 ml of water, but you're going to need at least a liter by the time this is cooked. Bring this to the boil and then cover. The cook time on this is going to vary. I'm going to keep boiling this for about 15 to 20 minutes. Stirring at intervals to avoid the bottom from burning. I'm also going to keep topping up the water as I go. As it cooks down, I'm going to continuously mash it with the back of my spoon. Turn the heat off and keep it aside. I have 500 grams of mutton here. This is bone-in as I prefer the extra flavor it brings to the dish. If you prefer, you can use boneless. I'm just going to marinate this simply with the juice of half a lime and some salt. I'm going to be using my Instant Pot for this, but you can totally use your regular pressure cooker. This is set to saute mode and it's ready to go. I have 1 tablespoon of ghee here and 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to allow this to heat up, and once it's nice and hot, I'm going to add some whole spices. A 2-inch stick of cinnamon, 1 Star Anise, 4 black cardamoms. This is also known as bade elaichi. 6 cardamoms, 6 cloves, and 10 peppercorns. I'm also going to throw in 1 teaspoon of Shah Jeera. I'm going to give this a minute to make the ghee and the oil nice and fragrant. Next, I'm going to add the mutton and I'm going to allow it to sear. I'm also going to add 1 cup of fried onions. You can use homemade or store-bought. Of course, homemade fried onions are always better. I'll leave the link on how to make these fried onions in the description. The use of fried onions with meat is very common in Hyderabadi cooking. It brings a great depth of flavor to the meat. Next, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of ginger and garlic paste. Now for the powdered spices, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, a half teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 2 teaspoons of Garam Masala. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of sliced green chilies. Mix this all well together and add salt to taste. Next, I'm going to add a half cup of yogurt and I'm going to mix this in. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of coriander and 1 tablespoon of mint. Next, I'm going to add 500 ml of water. You can get away with adding less water in the Instant Pot as the steam releases only at the end and it builds up quite a bit of steam inside. In a regular pressure cooker, the steam is released automatically every time it builds pressure, so you can add a bit more water. I'm going to put the lid on and make sure it's in sealing mode. Cancel saute and set this to pressure cook for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes and the pressure valve drops, it's time to open the lid. This looks amazing. If I was going to serve a mutton curry, this is perfect as is. But for Haleem, we will need to dry up this gravy. I'm going to set this back on saute mode and just let this go for about 10 to 15 minutes till that gravy dries up. And make sure you keep stirring to prevent burning. Once done, I'm going to shut this off and I'm going to allow the mutton to cool. With clean hands, I'm going to fish out all of the bones and whole spices. Look how soft this meat is. It's literally shredding in my hands. If you have a couple of marrow bones like this, just release the marrow back into the gravy. It's delicious. I've just shredded the meat pieces with my hands, and this is the consistency you're looking for. I'm going to turn this back onto saute mode now, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee. If your lentil mixture has thickened while sitting, you can just warm it up with some water. If you need to smooth it out a bit more, you can simply process it in your food processor. Add this to the meat and I'm going to add a half cup of water. The water is going to help me mix everything well together. This will now have to be cooked for at least 10 to 15 minutes. We want to release all of that gluten so the whole mixture has an elastic-like consistency. If you feel that this is getting too thick, add a little bit more water. Using a potato masher, I'm going to keep working this. As it heats, it tends to bubble, so I'm going to put a lid on it. Another good tool for mixing is a whisk. Just make sure you're constantly stirring to prevent burning from the bottom. This has been a great workout for my arms, but the Haleem or Daleem is finally ready. It's thick, sticky and elastic and just perfect. I like to serve this with more ghee, topped with fried onions and a few wedges of lime. Enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me on Cravings Food Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for Hyderabadi Haleem. It is the king of Haleems. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys, and do ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And if you love this video, do leave me a comment or like it and share it with your family and friends. And be sure to follow me behind the scenes on all of my social channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Until I see you next time, do take care. Bye.